Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Starting with the great name of Allah, who is the most merciful and most beneficent. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers. उम्मीद है आप सब बखैर व आफियत से होंगे। इंग्लिश से की एक नई वीडियो लेकर आप लोगों की खिदमत में हाजिर है। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है प्रोस एंड कॉन्स ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन। जैसे कि आप लोगों को पता है दोस्तों कि कोई भी इसे हो, इसके 3 पोर्शन होते हैं। पहला होता है इंट्रोडक्शन, इसके बाद दूसरा हिस्से का बॉडी होता है और तीसरे नंबर पे कंक्लूजन। सबसे पहले हम इस्से को इंट्रोड्यूस करवाते हैं। तो ये जो इस्से है ये प्रोफेशनल राइटर ने लिखी है। चलो इसको देखते हैं, इसने इसकी इंट्रोडक्शन कैसे लिखी है, इसकी बॉडी कैसे लिखी है और इसकी उसके कंक्लूड कैसे किया है। आप लोगों से दरख्वास्त है कि अगर आपके पास पेन और कलम है तो इसको लिखिएगा, ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट इस्से हैं। चलो टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करते हैं, वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। दोस्तों मैं वीडियो को रीड करता जाऊंगा, आप लोगों ने गौर से सुनना है। कंप्लीट इंग्लिश इससे प्रोस एंड कॉन्स ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन। Globalization is a multifaceted concept that represents the increased integration of economics, communications, and culture across the national boundaries. Do we see this integration in our present world? The answer is, of course, yes. At present, a person, while sitting at home, can purchase any product across the globe using digital applications and Visa card. Journeys of the days have reduced to hours. Besides, it is also possible now for anyone sitting in one corner of the world to communicate face to face with another located in any opposite edge using internet. It means globalization has already become a part of our life, and the technology has given this concept a practical shape. Globalization was further promoted by the US after the end of World War II under its New World Order. There is no second opinion in the fact that globalization made the US wealthy and increased its prestige in the globe because the US was advanced in technology and economic integration, created easiness for it to sell its merchandise around the globe. Globalization, without any doubt, has solved our day-to-day problems and created convenience to conduct trade and other activities smoothly. However, some opponents deride the concept for its lopsided benefits. Undoubtedly, globalization comes with some pros and cons, which are described as below. Cons of globalization. Opponents have raised the following concerns to reject globalization. Inequality. The major argument against globalization is that it causes inequality. According to opponents, globalization is more beneficial for the richer countries. The economic expansion of the US post-World War II era and unequal distribution of wealth among the people can be cited to describe how globalization contributes to growing inequalities. दोस्तों इधर मैंने इक्वलिटीज दिखाई दे inequalities से. The gross domestic product of the US increased from 2 to 8 billions in 1947 to around 1.7 trillions in 1975. By 1975, the US economy represented some 35% of the entire world industrial output. Besides, according to a new report, the top 1% now owns 50.1% of the world wealth, up from 45% in 2001. In the same period, the wealth of poor countries diminished and drained towards the rich nations. Globalization increased inequalities within developed countries as well. For instance, in the US at present, 10% American earns 45% of the total wealth, as compared to 35% in 1980s. The developed countries are advanced in industrial technology and possess many merchandise to sell in the developing countries. On the other hand, the poor countries merely make anything to get advantage of integrated economy. It is therefore their wealth is trending towards the rich countries to make them further richer. Jobless in the developed countries. Globalization also results in unemployment. China has now started to gain benefit from globalization and integrated economy in the same way the US did earlier. It has not only established industries but also exploited its huge population to create a low-cost labor and to make finished goods at competitive price. Consequently, it has started to export its inexpensive articles to the US. Chinese total trade with the US was only 8 billion in 1985. In 2017, the export of China to the US alone stood at 479.7 billion, contributing 419 billion trade deficit for the US. As a result, America lost 80% jobs in manufacturing sectors owing to surge in import from China. Industries start to close there because China provided the same good as a reasonable rate that was produced in the local industries. Besides, immigrants are replaced the local people from their jobs because they are usually agreed to work for low wages. It was the reason that the British left the European Union to ensure job security for its local people. Lowering the income. Globalization has created a competition among the countries. As a result, income of some workers has badly affected. The most serious impact is left on the people of America, who achieve more benefits from it during early period. For instance, America born in 1940 and earned 90% more than their parents. However, American born in 1980s earn 50% less than their parents, and it is due to capturing of economic markets by China. Monopoly of multinational companies and eradication of culture. Globalization is also criticized for creating monopoly of some multinational companies in any country. According to opponents, these companies not only take a lion's share of their profits but also exploit the local citizens by paying them low wages. The local culture is also affected by integration of the foreign traditions. As a result, the new generation is fast losing its indigenous culture value by adopting the Western customs owing to globalization. Now we discuss the pros of globalization. Pros of globalization. Globalization does more good than harm. The fast growth of global economy. The fast growth of global economy and improvement in the lifestyle of people is because of globalization. Some major pros of globalization are mentioned as below. Importance of multinational companies. The investment by the multinational companies always prove beneficial for receiving country. It creates jobs opportunities for the local people and also exploits its natural resources. It improves the export of the country and contributes to its taxation system. For instance, investment under China economic investment under China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPEC) by different multinational companies have already created around 75% new jobs in Pakistan and is expected to create 2.3 million more by 2030. The example of the US can also be cited here. Kenneth F. Schiff and Matthew J. Slater wrote in the Foreign Affairs magazine in 2018. In 2015, the multinational companies spent $700 billion on new capital investment, 43% of all private sector non-residential investment in the United States exported 794 billion worth of goods. 53% of all US goods exported and spent 284 billion on research and development. A remarkable 79% of total US private sector research and development. That translates directly into good job. In 2015, US multinationals employed 28 million Americans, making up 23% of all private sector jobs, paying them a third more than the average private sector job. Quality material available at a relatively affordable rate. Globalization enables consumers to get a quality material at an affordable rate. It is a fact that globalization increased the competition among the industrial countries to occupy markets. As a result, the competition forces the producer to bring down the price of their finished goods. Consequently, the consumer gets a low-price product. It can be further explained by citing an example of the US and Chinese competition at the globe level. Chinese has lowered the price of its merchandise to occupy more market. As a result, the US had left with no option but to contract the price too. Hence, the local consumer ends up getting a quality product at an economic rate. Improves the lifestyle of the people. Globalization also improves the lifestyle of the people. It creates an opportunity for the young generation to conduct trade activities around the globe and improve their economic position. For instance, people living in Africa can earn millions of dollars by making YouTube videos. For example, Mark Angel is a Nigerian comedian. He earns good amount of money required to improve his lifestyle by just making and uploading his videos on YouTube. Had there been no globalization, he would have spent a miserable life in Nigeria. Importance of immigrants. Immigrants bring with them innovations and expertise. They contribute to the development of the receiving countries. For instance, Kenneth F. Schiff and Matthew J. Slater writes, immigrants, only 13% of all U.S. residents today, made up 39% of the U.S. resident Nobel Prize winner in chemistry, medicine, and physics. Over the past 20 years, it is estimated that immigrants founded the most of the largest companies of the U.S. One recent study by the Kaufman Foundation concluded that immigrants accounted for 25% of all new high-tech companies founded in the U.S. from 2006 through 2012. Globalization contributes to the global peace. It is a known fact that globalization contributes to global peace in various ways. Firstly, it engages nations in trade activities. As a result, the countries try hard to maintain peace in globe because they know that the insecurity will directly affect their business. For instance, China is working hard to bring peace in South Asia because it knows the fact that its Belt Road Initiative (BRI) cannot be succeeded without peace in the region. Secondly, globalization improved the lifestyle of local people by creating job opportunities for them. Hence, the local citizen also try to avoid clashes. Globalization promotes democracy. The integrated communication has given people free access to millions of international websites. The knowledge and information available online develop their interest for the civilian rule. Out of fear, Chinese government has blocked the access of its citizens to different websites. Beijing fears that these people will raise voice against the authoritarian rule once given free access to internet knowledge. North Korea has taken a step ahead to strictly limit the use of internet by local people. Thus, globalization helps in promoting democracy by increasing the access of people to knowledge. Conclusion. Thus, globalization involves the integration of the world. The globe has already been amalgamated after the advent of technology. The integration has resulted in both pros and cons. However, the pros surpass the cons. According to opponent of globalization, it causes inequality, jobless monopoly of multinational companies, eradication of culture, and lower income. The supporters believe that the multinational companies and immigrants are always beneficial for any country. Besides, according to them, globalization provides equality goods at an affordable rate, improves the lifestyle of people, contributes to global peace, and promotes democracy. Thus, globalization has more advantage than disadvantage and must be promoted. It's all about pros and cons of globalization. तो उम्मीद है वीडियो आप लोगों को पसंद आई होगी। तो जैसे कि आप लोगों ने देखा डियर व्यूवर्स, सबसे पहले उसने इंट्रोडक्शन करवाया, प्रोस एंड कॉन्स ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन का उसने इंट्रोडक्शन लिखा। उसके बाद उसने कॉन्स बयान किए, उसके बाद फिर उसने प्रोस बयान किए, उसके बाद उसने लास्ट पे कंक्लूजन दिया। तो आप लोग भी इस मॉडल को अप्लाई करें कोई भी इससे लिखते वक्त। उम्मीद है अगर वीडियो आपको पसंद आई है तो वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें और कमेंट्स में अपने राय ज़रूर दें। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग।